Woo, chilly today, guys, but I'm back at it. I go to bed every night looking forward to being blessed enough to wake up the next day and do this again. I don't care if I'm in Florida or if I'm in Massachusetts or if I'm beachside or if I'm in the forest. I do stuff like this. Guys, yes. This is friggin' amazing. You know, I tell you guys, I feel God's presence every day, and I have for about a year now. Guys, this is what I mean. I can feel God's presence. And it's overwhelming. And I hope you find this space in your mind, because it's an amazing place to be. And I will say this. Sorry, I forgot my sunglasses, so I have to squint. Most of us start our days just hustling and scrambling and dealing with the kids and, you know, being late and getting stuck in rush hour and stressing out, and then we muck and grind through the day, and then we get home. We finally shut our minds off late at night after some reading or whatever you got to do, and we wake up and do the whole scatterbrain thing again. And this is why people are very unhealthy. Just because everybody does it doesn't mean it's right. And I've always been a contrarian with everything. Even as a young student, junior high school, learning about what poets wrote, you know, in the 14 and the 1500s, and some teacher would be telling me what his thought process was, and I remember sitting there scratching my head going, I disagree. And your life is going to be much more fulfilling and satisfying if you just follow your thought process. If something doesn't seem right to you, you're probably right. You know? But anyways, try to be careful. Try not to conform to everything. People are just so tribal and weird now. Don't do that. If something doesn't seem right in your life, you're probably right. Your innate instincts are a lot stronger and smarter and wiser than a lot of these fools that have led us down the primrose path of misery and medication and depression and all this other nonsense. So, I've said it before, most people can't handle alone time. And trust me, guys, I started doing this when I was really young. I had to, because I had a pretty difficult childhood, and I was confronted with a lot of adult issues at a very young age. So even as a young Marine, I found myself alone, sitting at a place called the Seawall on the island of Okinawa, and I would just always be thinking about life and questioning things. And it's not an easy thing to do, because life is difficult, and if you spend some time in your head, it can make you cry, it can make you angry. You're going to ask all these questions, but it's just like a muscle. You have to learn to be comfortable with yourself. And once you're comfortable with yourself, that's when you start seeing life how you want to see it. If you see life how everybody wants you to see it, that's why you're so unhappy. It's okay to be different. As a matter of fact, thank God for the people that do exercise their uniqueness. Because if we were all just ants marching, you remember that song from Dave Matthews? I always connected with that song. You should listen to it after we're done here. It's so true. People have lost their individuality. Like this guy right here, he's an individual. He's like, my boys are all over there flying around on the beach, but I'm just sitting here vibing out. What's up, dog? Yep. So you don't want to conform, guys. And I'm not saying be like some renegade. No, just be who you are. Don't worry about it. Starts at a young age. A lot of people aren't good students. I was not a good student. I have what they call scatterbrain. Teacher would be talking about something, and I'd be thinking about playing hockey or something completely different. So from a young age, we're kind of molded. You're either in that perfect crowd of, students that can really excel book-wise, or you're not. And that's when you start wondering, hey, what's wrong with me? Don't do that. We're not all able to memorize things and be perfect students. But that doesn't mean you don't have other values to bring to the table. You need to focus on who you are, what your values are that you have, and go with it. That's what you got to do. Anyways, guys, I hope the video helped you out. For those of you that came to my live last night, thank you. Special thank you to PETA, Shed Stories, Kelly, King Benjamin's daughter, all of you. I'm sorry, Lizzie, all of you, whoever else I forgot about, Brenda. I really appreciate all your support, and I thank you for being here. Don't be afraid to be who you are. We just live in such a weird time right now. Just be you. And in closing, I want you to remember that your individuality is very special. It really is. So let it shine. Be who you are, and welcome to this community. I truly believe that we have created the best community on TikTok, where people can talk and people can be honest. We're all going through the same sort of pressures in life, and a lot of us are kind of like having this in a conversation about, like, am I doing well? Am I normal? And why am I so sad? Or why do I feel like, all these questions that we all ask ourselves. It's what we're doing, and that's normal. It really is. I'm gonna let you guys go. I have to do some of the inner work, and remember, it's not easy doing the inner work. It takes a lot of time, but once you work that mind muscle, so to speak, you're gonna feel so much better about yourself. And then you're gonna get to a point where you're gonna need to break away from people and just kind of reconnect with yourself. And that's good. There's nothing wrong with it. People like, oh, you go alone? That's weird. No, it's weird that you don't. How can you even know yourself? How can you control yourself? How can you coach yourself if you're always in that hustle bustle mode and you never slow down and kind of regroup, so to speak? All right, guys. I got to walk all the way up around the whole entire island. So I got to let you go. Live more, but live more wisely. We'll see you in the next one. Peace. I'm going to share with you. You know